Thinkware U3000 Pro versus the Vueroid S1 4K. So what is the differences between these two 4K dash cameras?
Coming up, we'll have nighttime footage, daytime footage. We're going to have the tunnel test, and we're going to compare the rear cameras and the interior cameras. Let's go.
Both of them are made in Korea. So let's start with the Thinkware U3000 Pro. If we go up top here, you have the manual recording button here, power button, the Wi-Fi button, and you can turn your microphone on or off. So that would actually for recording audio. Now we go to the top here. This is your rear camera input, power input, external GPS antenna. That's if you wanted to purchase one separately. It does have a built-in GPS antenna, and battery input. So if you're using an iVolt Extra, you can actually plug in directly into this so that it communicates with it and gives you the battery percentages. And last but not least, the USB-C, which allows you to add either an interior camera or an LTE module for cloud functionality. When we go around to the back, you have the mount here with the 3M tape that comes off. It just slides sideways off of the unit, and you mount it on the windshield with the 3M tape. Going around to the front, this is actually the front camera, and you can see you can actually pivot it depending on the angle of your windshield. And this is the polarized lens that they provide for you inside the box that is put on the unit, and it just sticks on. Moving over to the Vueroid S1 4K, you can see this is your manual recording button. You have your Wi-Fi button, microphone / audio recording button. You actually have your video button, so this actually changes whether or not you're seeing the front, rear, or interior camera on the screen. You have your menu button, so if you want to go through any menu and change any settings on the unit directly. We go to the top, you have an on-off switch, and then you have your power in, rear camera in, and your interior camera input. We go to the side of the unit. There's a USB-C input, which you can use for actually communicating with your computer, or a newer iPhone like a 15, 16, or 17, which has USB-C input, or an Android device with a USB-C input. You can actually plug directly into this and download videos from your phone, or plug it into the computer as well to download videos, and your SD card slot goes in here, which I forgot to mention that the Thinkware U3000 Pro has the SD card slot on the side as well. Now moving around to the back, this is your GPS mount for the actual Vueroid S1 4K. And what's nice about this is you can actually take this off, and if you have all the cables plugged in and it's mounted on the windshield, all the cables can actually stay in, and you don't have to worry about unplugging anything if you wish to dismount and plug it into your computer or your phone, or just want to take it out of your vehicle for some reason. Go around to the front and you have your polarized lens, and you can see there is a lot of movement on the front camera, way more than the U3000. So if you're maybe like a Jeep owner, Ford Bronco, certain vehicles, or maybe a commercial vehicle where the windshield is pretty flat, as you can see here, you can get this thing going pretty flat. It's not even close to the same in terms of angles. So a lot more flexibility to mount it on a lot of different windshields with the Vueroid S1 4K. So now let's take a look at the rear cameras. Here are the two rear cameras, the U3000 Pro and the Vueroid S1 4K. Now, what is the same between these two rear cameras? Both of them are using a 2K image sensor, which is the IMX675 Sony Starvis 2 image sensor. They both have HDR, which means they should both work well at night. So, what are the main differences between these two units? Well, let's start with the U3000 Pro rear camera. This one actually has radar parking mode built in. Now, what that basically means is it's an advanced motion detection. It is not normal motion detection, it's advanced motion detection, because it actually goes to sleep, draws very low current, and only wakes up when there's movement. So the front and rear camera from Thinkware both do this, but this one actually has it built into the rear as well, which is nice. So now when we actually look at it, if you need to change or adjust the rear camera, you just adjust it here. You can also use a flathead screwdriver if you prefer in order to adjust the angles. The rear camera cable plugs in right here on the side. Make sure you push it in snugly because you want to make sure that it actually makes a solid connection. And here's the 3M tape, so you can either stick it like this if it's like a truck, or on a hatch or another vehicle, and the 3M just applies nicely. We usually recommend cleaning it with antiseptic wipes prior to mounting it to try and get the best adhesion. So now let's go over the Vueroid S1 rear camera. So it's a little bit different design than obviously the U3000 Pro. You can see there's the back, but they actually keep a cable in it. So the cable actually comes right out of the unit instead of plugging in like the U3000 Pro. Some people may really like this design, while others might not. But typically, all that ends up happening is you end up getting your rear camera cable and you plug the two together. Now, I do recommend when you are doing this to typically take some electrical tape to make sure that this stays completely intact. Now, I do kind of like using this for trucks because the big thing that always seems to happen with trucks is the cable here is very hard to find a way to grasp when you're actually running the wire. So having this big ball joint here kind of keeps the wire up there in the headliner. So it is kind of nice actually for trucks. Now, if you are looking to adjust the angle at all, it actually just adjusts like so. And then the 3M tape's right here to stick right directly on the window. Some of the questions people might ask is whether or not either one of these rear cameras will actually support a CPL filter or a polarized lens. And neither one of these rear cameras are going to support a CPL filter or polarized lens. Now let's take a look at the interior cameras. This is the U3000 Pro optional interior camera and the Vueroid S1 optional interior camera. Now, both of them are 1080p resolution. They both have infrared IR, so that if you're actually driving around at night, maybe you're an Uber driver, it'll actually pick up heat signatures in the vehicle. So basically the picture ends up looking black and white instead of being in full color, obviously because it's dark out. But if you have a normal camera in that position, it just won't look right. Now, basically, this gets mounted on the windshield. It only has maneuverability to go up or down on the Thinkware unit. While the Vueroid one, you can actually mount side to side, up, down, all around. So this is actually kind of interesting. When I first seen it, I actually kind of didn't like it. But now actually installing a few of these, it makes sense. You know, you have a lot more versatility for mounting it than you did before on other interior cameras. Now, the cable is actually built right in, while on the Thinkware one, it's separate. So you actually can just use the cable, plug it directly into the top of the unit, and it plugs right into the side for the interior camera.
Parking mode. The Thinkware U3000 Pro has 4 different parking mode options. The first one is energy saving mode, which draws very low current and wakes up 1 second after impact to your vehicle. Time-lapse mode records at 2 frames per second, enabling the dash cam to capture long durations of continuous footage by using minimal space. Third option is motion and impact detection. It triggers a 20-second recording when motion or impact is detected, capturing 10 seconds before and after the event. The last one is radar parking mode, and it says buffered here, but it's actually wrong. It actually says that it will instantly activate to record a 20-second buffered clip. When you say buffered, that means it'll record 20 seconds before, and that's actually not how radar parking mode works. Radar parking mode uses a radar sensor, so Thinkware actually has it worded wrong on their website and they're misleading people. And I hope by this video they will actually look at correcting this, because I got caught on saying this on the original Thinkware U3000 and I got hung out to dry by a bunch of people in the comments. and I didn't realize what I actually said because I read it right off the website. And realistically, buffered means it'll record before the incident. With radar parking mode, because it draws a very low amount of current while parked, it means it only wakes up once the motion is detected, which means it can't buffer it like a normal motion detection parking mode. And that's how it has the low current draw. So either way, Thinkware, you really need to remove the radar parking mode, the buffered portion of the parking mode out. The Vueroid S1 has 3 different parking modes. It has time lapse, which records at 1 frame per second. And if there is any impacts at all, it will actually wake up and go back 10 seconds and record at 30 frames per second, which is actually pretty awesome. It also has extreme low power mode, which is very similar to the energy saving mode from the Thinkware U3000 Pro, which actually draws very low current and wakes up 1 second after impact. And then it has motion detection. Motion detection, exactly the same as the Thinkware, where it'll actually buffer it and wake up and start recording. But it will buffer, if I remember correctly, about 10 seconds prior to any movement coming in. Now let's take a look at the current draw of these 2 units. Now this is in 2-channel parking mode, which means front and rear configuration, and we tested this at 12.5 volts. The Thinkware U3000 Pro is at 270 milliamps in motion detection, and the Vueroid S1 is at 385 milliamps. Time-lapse mode, the U3000 Pro at 245 milliamps, the S1 at 385. The low power impact detection, aka energy saving mode, is 3 milliamps on the U3000 Pro and 1 milliamp on the Vueroid S1. The radar parking mode, which is exclusive to the U3000 Pro, is at 7 milliamps. Now keep in mind, the radar parking mode is very energy efficient motion detection. However, if you parked on a busy street or in a busy parking lot, it's just going to draw like the 270 milliamps the whole time anyways, and it's not going to be that energy effective, right? So you really want to make sure that you are utilizing it correctly or parking in proper spots where it's not going to be triggered every 30 seconds or a minute. Here is some nighttime footage of the Vueroid S1 and the U3000 Pro. Take a look at it. The Vueroid S1 is picking up the greenery of all the trees and the grass all around very clear. The U3000 Pro is very dark and you can't really see any of the colors while you're driving at night. These are both in the same vehicle at the same time. And if you take a look also as we continue driving, you'll see that the Vueroid S1 does a better job of actually picking up license plates. It's hard to believe that these 2 units are actually using the exact same image sensor and both have HDR. Like this Audi we just passed there, you can see the S1 4K picked up the license plate clear as day. Enjoy the rest of the video footage we have compiled here of some daytime, some nighttime, and tunnel test footage. Enjoy. and cons. The Thinkware U3000 Pro has radar parking mode. Optional USB-C input, which can be used for an interior camera or an LTE cloud connection. Improved video quality over the prior generation U3000. And it has 3-year warranty when you buy and install it at a Thinkware authorized dealer. It also has safety camera alerts for those people who want red light and speed camera notifications. And if you have an older car, it also has ADAS, which is driver assistance systems. Cons. It no longer has a free cloud option like the prior U3000. Nighttime has improved, but it's still behind Viofo and Vueroid dash cameras. It only has 2 ways to get video footage. The interior camera only has a 120-degree wide viewing angle, and there's no CPL filter support for the rear camera. Vueroid S1 4K. Pros. Great video day and night. Extreme low power mode of 1 milliamp of current. Auto recording off zone. This is actually a new feature to dash cameras where, let's say you don't want it to record when you get home, you can actually set it up so it actually turns off when you pull into your garage. That way it's not wasting any of your battery while you're at home, but then parking mode would work when you go out and you go shopping. Works in high heat environments. There's 4 different ways that you can download videos, which we went through on a separate video. Interior camera has a 170-degree wide viewing angle and a 2-year warranty when we install it because we're an authorized Vueroid dealer. Cons. No low power motion detection or radar parking mode like the radar parking mode of the U3000 Pro. If you plan to use the 4K 60 frame per second option in 3-channel mode on the Vueroid, the rear and interior camera will drop to 15 frames per second. Now, we don't typically recommend using this option. However, if you do plan on doing that, be aware, 15 frames per second it'll drop to. The AI license plate software, I don't really feel it's working properly right now. Hopefully they're going to fix that in the near future. No LTE or cloud option and no CPL filter for the rear camera. I hope you enjoyed our video comparing the Vueroid S1 to the Thinkware U3000 Pro. And if you are looking to support us at all, check us out, safedrivesolutions.com, where we offer professional dash camera installation in Greater Toronto and Greater Vancouver, Canada. We also sell dash cameras on safedrivesolutions.com. Thanks again for watching.